after that. So here we have a lot of very compelling evidence. You're going to see drill holes like this one, of which there are many, not only here on the Giza Plateau, but also other locations in Egypt. You can see, obviously, it's some kind of tube drill, and don't try to presume even for a second that these were done in modern times, because the penetration rate of the drill is estimates according to people such as machinists who have been with us on location in Egypt, that the penetration rate is 500 times more efficient than a 21st century drill. And we can tell that by the spiral or the grooves that are left behind. Each groove means that the penetration rate was likely 2 to 3 millimeters per revolution. Now that is impossible to be achieved by our present modern technology. And also, no, these were not samples taken by geologists or someone like that, because the technology is far more advanced than what we have. And obviously, if we couldn't do this work, then the dynastic Egyptians could not do this work. And then we also have what appears to be either a saw of some kind or an angle grinder of some kind, more likely a saw. And again, we see that the grooves, or the distance between each groove, is between 2 and 3 millimeters. So again, actually this stone here is basalt, which is about 6 to 7 on the Mohs scale out of 10. And where my finger is going, we see that it's actually not a straight line, but an arc. And we've been able to calculate that this was a circular saw of some kind. It was approximately 3/16 of an inch thick and upwards of 18 feet in diameter. So once again, in the 21st century, we do not have any kind of steel or other metal that you could possibly make a circular saw blade of that immensity with such a thinness. Now here we have alabaster. There is a drill hole. Actually, more specifically, this is called calcite. And where my finger is, that appears to be so even that it would be some kind of router device that did that. Again, the holes are perfectly circular. Once again in calcite, and where my fingers are, again it appears that some kind of router device was used on this stone. There are hundreds of examples in sites such as the Giza Plateau, also at Karnak, also at lesser known sites such as Abu Ghurab, Abu Rawash, Abu Sir, Memnon, etc., that show examples of lost ancient technology having been used. Now, these stoneworks were obviously recycled by the later dynastic Egyptians, and it appears that in ancient Egypt there was a massive cataclysm that occurred, we calculate approximately 12,000 years ago, that destroyed whatever great civilization happened to be there at that time. And then, as you probably heard already, about 5,000 years ago, the dynastic Egyptians arrive. They find all of these sites in ruins, and they rebuild them with their lower level of technology.